You would know that Angel Reese has just been suspended for the entire season and fined over $1.2 million for what she just did, as she was caught saying the Z word on live TV.
Now, Caitlin Clark, she will be missing Friday's game due to her continued groin injury, and Angel Reese has been suspended for Friday's game after getting assessed a technical foul Wednesday night for pimp slapping Aaliyah Edwards.
Angel Reese suspended, and now she won't even be on the court when her Chicago Sky faces the Indiana Fever. The timing is brutal. She stirred headlines by calling out teammates, then immediately started backtracking once the heat got too real. Now, missing this Fever matchup only adds fuel to the fire. Was this just a rookie mistake spiraling out of control, or is Angel already dealing with the weight of her own words? This story just got messy.
Angel Reese receives her 8th tech, which will prohibit her from playing against the Indiana Fever. And 2, she's in some pretty hot water with her teammates about the Chicago Tribune article.
Kathy Engelbert thought she had cracked the code. She sat in her commissioner chair, probably doodling WNBA logos on a napkin, and decided the best way to put the league on the map was to force-feed fans a 5-game Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky rivalry. Because who doesn't want to watch the same matchup 5 times in one season? Forget balance, forget variety. Kathy went all in on reruns like this was Friends on cable TV.
Kathy Engelbert tried to rig the cards in the WNBA's favor by having the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky go head-to-head 5 times this season. Unfortunately for Kathy Engelbert, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will only be going head-to-head 1 of those 5 times, and that time has come.
The selling point, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. The rivalry that was supposed to save women's basketball plastered everywhere, hyped like a heavyweight fight. But here's the plot twist. Out of 5 games, the 2 stars only went head-to-head once, one time. That's it. Caitlin Clark's groin has been on the injured list longer than your favorite Netflix show has been in production. And Angel Reese? She's been suspended so often, you'd think the WNBA handed her a personal timeout chair. Engelbert didn't deliver a rivalry, she delivered a bad sequel. Titanic 2, still sinking.
How did that happen? How did we get here? What she just said, the national championship game. We were not talking about Caitlin Clark before Angel Reese walked up to her, did this, and...
Lads, Angel Reese is currently about to be suspended. She has 7 technical fouls on the season. And if this was last season, in a 44-game season, she would have already been suspended. She would have already been suspended. And it is genuinely one of the funny things about this is that her fans are arguing that none of the techs are warranted. They are all warranted.
And why was Angel Reese missing Friday night's game? Oh, just your casual suspension after she decided to unleash a spinning backhand on Aaliyah Edwards like she was auditioning for a UFC contract. Forget boxing out, forget positioning. Angel went full Mortal Kombat, and it wasn't even a front hand slap. No, she went with the backhand, the most disrespectful move in human history. That's not just contact, that's centuries of attitude compressed into one flick of the wrist.
Damn, she packed her up, bro. She low-key packed her up. It was so sly. Oh, shoot. Dang, Angel. Man, this is horrible timing if she get this 8th technical. I think they're going to give her a technical. Getting suspended for a game after what she said about her team basically being trash and needing new players, man. Yeah, that's a tech. Dang. So she's going to be suspended. This is all just bad timing, bro. Bad timing.
In her head. That's right. Angel Reese didn't use the front of her hand. Angel Reese went with the back of her hand and bow right across Aaliyah Edwards' head.
Of course, the big debate started. Was it intentional? Was it malicious? Was Aaliyah flopping? Please. If you blinked, you missed it, but if you paused the tape, you could see the form, the wind-up, the torque. That wasn't a mistake. That was a geometry lesson. Angel's arm was basically a compass, drawing a perfect arc across Aaliyah's face.
I'm here to tell you, when I picked my phone up and I looked at all of these damn alerts, I say, hold up, wait a minute. It is looking spooky. Angel Reese got suspended. Angel Reese threw her team under the bus. When the hell did this happen?
And give credit where credit's due. Aaliyah Edwards sold it. Down she went, clutching her head like she'd just been struck by Zeus himself. Oscar-worthy. People acted like she'd been smacked into another timeline. Truth is, Aaliyah hasn't taken a slap like that since she was 5 years old, dumping flour all over the kitchen floor. But she sold it, the refs bought it, and Angel Reese collected her 8th technical of the season. Which means, enjoy the suspension, Angel. But the slap was just one chapter in the Angel Reese drama series, because when she's not handing out backhands, she's handing out insults. Angel has been running through her own locker room like a roast master at comedy night. Rachel Banham, not a leader. Haley Van Lith, not ready for this league. The Chicago Sky are 9-30. 9 wins, 30 losses. That's not a season, that's a cautionary tale. And yet Angel's looking around the locker room like she's above it all, demanding greatness while drowning at the bottom of the standings. It's like the fry cook at Burger King demanding a Michelin star because he remembered to salt the fries.
For you, Leah Edwards is a lot of buckets.
And then, the moonwalk? 2 days after torching her teammates in public, Angel started backtracking faster than a toddler who knows they're about to get grounded. Suddenly, her words were taken out of context. Suddenly, she didn't mean it that way. She apologized in private. She loves her teammates. Classic PR spin. You could practically hear Billie Jean playing while she moonwalked out of accountability. Enter Ariel Atkins, who apparently got drafted into the role of Angel's defense attorney. Ariel stood up in the locker room and delivered the "her crown is heavy" speech. According to Ariel, Angel is just a 23-year-old kid carrying the weight of the world. Heavy is the head, heavy is the crown. This wasn't a slip of the tongue. This was a TED Talk. Everyone knows Angel meant it, apology or not. And while Ariel is trying to keep the peace, half the locker room is sitting there like, yeah, but she literally said my name. That's not a misunderstanding. That's an ambush.
Basically, her entire team feels attacked by her from comments that she made in a Chicago Tribune article. This is what Front Office Sports is reporting. According to the report, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Banham or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading a playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky's roster with WNBA championship experience.
Now, here's the kicker. Executives around the league are saying what fans have been whispering all season. On a real championship team, Angel Reese wouldn't even be the star. She'd be a 3rd or 4th option. Translation, not the queen, not the rook, not even the knight. She's the bishop, helpful but not the centerpiece. And yet here she is, demanding all-star level reinforcements as if she's carrying the league on her back. So now the Sky are stuck in this weird limbo. They gave Angel the keys, and instead of driving the franchise to relevance, she crashed the car, blamed the tires, blamed the mechanic, and then blamed the guy who built the road. And now the front office has to play damage control, setting up awkward team meetings where players fake forgiveness while side-eyeing each other in the locker room. And Caitlin Clark, the other half of this supposed rivalry, she's just trying to heal her groin in peace while all this chaos unfolds. She's sitting at home icing her injury, probably sipping tea, while Angel Reese is out here smacking people, insulting teammates, and moonwalking through the press. This rivalry was supposed to be basketball's version of Ali versus Frazier. Instead, it's turned into a soap opera with injuries, suspensions, and locker room drama overshadowing everything.
She's back. Guys, Angel Reese roasted the Chicago Sky as a whole, as an organization, as a staff, a collective, and a crew so bad to the point where it actually gave them some motivation in tonight.
Yeah, so here we are. A rivalry without the rivalry. A star who thinks she's the franchise savior but can't save her own locker room. A team that's 9-30 with more drama than victories. And a commissioner who thought this matchup would save the league only to watch it collapse into a comedy show. The Chicago Sky don't need better players. They need a therapist. They don't need a rebuild. They need a reality show contract. And Angel Reese? Well, she's proven one thing, whether it's a slap on the court or a slap in the locker room, she'll always keep the league buzzing. And here's the thing about this so-called team meeting the front office cooked up. It had less team bonding energy and more HR intervention before someone files a lawsuit vibes. You can just picture it. A bunch of athletes sitting in folding chairs in a circle while a franchise rep says, okay, let's share how it made us feel when Angel Reese called you washed Haley Van Lith, who just came out of a college career where she was marketed like a Disney princess with a jump shot, now has to accept that her own teammate thinks she's incapable of winning anything bigger than a holiday tournament. Rachel Banham, who already gets treated like the punchline of WNBA Twitter every time she checks into a game, had to hear her name specifically dragged into the mud. This wasn't criticism. This was targeted shade disguised as honesty.
The ironic thing about the Indiana Fever and the Sky is that the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, she started this thing called Rivalry Week, of which the parameters pretty much put the Sky and the Indiana Fever as rivals. And obviously the two players being the rivals are Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese has actually only played 1 game against the Fever, and she missed 2 games due to a back injury, and this will be her 3rd game that she misses against the Indiana Fever.
And then comes the apology tour. The always convenient, always predictable, I didn't mean it like that, y'all, act. It's the basketball equivalent of when a celebrity tweets something offensive and then posts the Notes app screenshot 12 hours later, complete with the phrase, "I'll do better." Angel Reese didn't even wait for the weekend before switching gears and suddenly talking about how her words were misconstrued. Right, because calling out your teammates by name, position, and expiration date is just one giant misunderstanding. Like she thought she was ordering at a restaurant and accidentally roasted her team instead. Now let's talk about Ariel Atkins, the human shield of this whole operation. If the crown is heavy, maybe it's because it's made out of all those turnovers and missed defensive rotations piling up every week.
This just in, Angel Reese is just back to being Angel Reese. No mistake about it. She can come out and say that she apologizes for the way that people took the comments that she made, but her comments were pretty close.
The irony here is so thick you could butter it on toast. Angel Reese is out here demanding great players around her while simultaneously shrinking the pool of people who'd ever want to play with her. Because let's be real, what star free agent wants to walk into a locker room where your own teammate might blast you in the media before you've even tied your sneakers? It's like signing up for a reality show without the paycheck or the glam squad. And the Chicago Sky front office? Bless their hearts. They probably thought drafting Angel Reese was going to be a marketing slam dunk. Ticket sales, jersey sales, social media buzz. Instead, they got the basketball version of a Bravo reality series. Teammates subtweeting each other in press conferences, veterans side-eyeing rookies, and coaches aging 5 years every postgame. This isn't a team, it's a soap opera with a shot clock. Let's not ignore Tyler Marsh either. Poor guy, rookie head coach, bright-eyed, probably thought he was going to come in, install some cool offensive sets, and slowly build a winning culture. Instead, he inherited a 9-30 disaster, had his authority publicly questioned by his own player, and now gets to referee locker room group therapy sessions. It's like being hired as a chef at a struggling restaurant, only to discover the kitchen is on fire and the waitstaff is throwing plates at each other.
Baby, one thing Angel Reese knows how to do is get the internet going. For those that don't know, an article was released today by the Chicago Tribune featuring Angel Reese, and she was basically just talking about the state of the Chicago Sky, her hopes in the offseason, and basically just putting pressure on the front office in regards to building a championship team around her.
But maybe the funniest part in all of this is the comparison between what the league wanted and what they actually got. The WNBA clearly wanted Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, the rivalry to save women's basketball. They wanted those games to feel like Ali versus Frazier with ponytails. Instead, what they got was one real matchup and a whole lot of drama featuring suspensions, injuries, and players getting slapped like it's amateur wrestling night at the YMCA. This wasn't a rivalry. It was a blooper reel with a marketing campaign slapped on top. And Angel Reese herself, she's unintentionally proving the critics right every time she opens her mouth. Because think about it. If you're actually that good, if you're truly destined to be the face of the league, you don't need to beg for help publicly while shading your teammates. You just win. Or, at the very least, you lose gracefully. Michael Jordan didn't go on live TV in 1986 and say, "Yeah, I'd win a title if Scottie Pippen wasn't such a bum." He just played his way into dominance. Angel, on the other hand, seems more interested in theatrics than actual box scores. That was a good, solid backhand that had "Don't mess with me" written all over it. And then Aaliyah Edwards? She sold it like she was auditioning for a soap opera. If there were an Oscar for Best Flop, she'd have it locked up.
Pressed into action as if I wasn't already. The NFL returns tonight. Praise baby Jesus. But I'm out of it for a few hours. And I get online this morning and I find out that Angel Reese has...
Of course, the league couldn't ignore it. Suspensions had to happen. But here's where it gets hilarious. Angel Reese sitting out means one less Caitlin Clark versus Angel showdown. And wasn't that the whole point of this circus? The WNBA's dream matchup, evaporating into air faster than Chicago's playoff hopes. It's like the league bought front row tickets to their own Super Bowl only to find out the team's canceled. The WNBA is too small, too competitive, too exposed, every weakness shows. And the Chicago Sky's weaknesses are about as subtle as a marching band in a library. Let's also talk about the irony of Angel Reese comparing herself to someone wearing a crown when she spent most of the season acting like the jester. Today, it's Rachel Bannum and Haley Van Lith. Tomorrow, it's any other teammate unlucky enough to share a locker room with her. If Angel keeps this up, she's going to turn into the player everyone loves to watch, but no one wants to play with. A highlight reel with no chemistry, a stat sheet with no rings.
Online this morning, and I find out that Angel Reese has, for lack of a better way of putting it, shit all over her teammates. Or as some people might call it, drown her teammates. And her teammates are none too happy, nor should they be.
And in the grand scheme of things, that's the biggest punchline of all. For all the talk about heavy crowns and misunderstood language, the record still says 9-30. That's the truth. That's the reality. You can spin it, excuse it, dress it up, or throw a team meeting at it. But at the end of the day, the Chicago Sky are a bad basketball team. And Angel Reese is stuck in the middle, half superstar, half soap opera star, wondering why her empire looks more like a comedy sketch than a dynasty. So let's be brutally honest. Until Angel Reese stops swinging at opponents and starts swinging at her own flaws, this story isn't going anywhere. It's just going to get louder, messier, and funnier. And if that crown really is heavy, maybe it's time to put it down and actually play basketball.